Hello, everybody. How are you all doing? Hello, hello. It is Thursday, April 4th. And hey, Lincod, Whitefish. Heard you had a good fishing trip. Was that today or was that over the weekend? I didn't get to read your dad's whole thing. Hey, Ronald, Dana Point. No more SKB box here. We raffled that prize off. Had to get some more prizes up there for you guys. So we have a open party charter coming up on April 28th. Probably be the last open party one. Definitely at a discounted rate. So that one's about 20% off. Oh, so they're still on the boat. Okay. So they're just heading back. Your dad said it was a little rough out there today, I guess. Yeah, so Lingcod Whitefish and his dad Alan and his brother are fishing. We're fishing today, San Nicolas Island, aboard the El Dorado, and they're on their way back in right now. Hey, Robert, how you doing? Then what else we have coming up? I am in Alaska in June, which you guys are welcome to sign up and join us, and also Mexico in May. Need more people for Mexico. I thought we had a lot more people signed up, but we don't. We have Alaska's almost sold out, but Mexico could use a lot more people. So if there's a group out there that wants to join us, sign up and join us. Yeah, so Lincot's saying that it was quite rough out there today, but it was wide open on the whitefish and the rockfish. Yeah, and he did so good that his dad sent me this picture a little while ago. So I get it up here for you guys. There's part of their limit of reds. So you can only keep two now. Last season we were able to catch four, and this season you can only keep two. Hope that'll make it one next year. Hello, Tommy. Hey, 907, how you doing? What grade are you in now, 907? Okay, I got 30 of you on here, but only 10 likes. Can we get more likes, please? And those of you that are still sending us donations to the Youth Foundation, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it. Looks like we have people on Facebook now and YouTube. So that's cool. Yeah, so if you go to our website on top there where it says Fish with Dan, There's links to both Alaska and Mexico trip. So you can find that there. And hey, Mike, how you doing? Here is the link for the information for Mexico. Andrew, hello. Terry, hello. Looks like we have somebody new, I think. So, Tracks on. Hey, Kevin. Kevin's at a casino. Imagine that. Yeah, Terry, didn't you just have a procedure like Daniel's asking? How you doing? Let's see. Okay, we're getting more likes. We have 2 people from Twitter and only 2 people from Facebook. But funny that the people from Facebook are from the Youth Foundation, and the rest of the people are all from YouTube. Over 30 people from YouTube. That's good. Hey Dante, how you doing? One of the guys at Lake right now. That's cool. Tommy says I don't look like I'm aging. I feel like I'm aging. Maybe it's all the time I spend on the water. So, Sal, hello. Any preference on rods? Really, it just comes down to personal choice. I mean, there's some really expensive rods, and there's some not so expensive that do a good job. So it just depends on your price. I mean, I think it's really important to spend time in your local tackle shop, trying out the different rods, see where they bend at, how parabolic they are, and all that type of stuff. You want something with the light tip for casting, and you want something with more power in the butt for tuna fishing and a rail rod, and stuff like that. So it's really important that you match up your rod for what you're using it for. I mean, it's like reason why people go golfing and they have all those different clubs is each club is for a specific purpose. And I see people all the time get on a boat and they only have 1 or 2 rods. And it's hard when you're out like at the island all day or something. You need to have different rods for different occupation or what you're going to be doing with it. So if you'd like to join me for the trip on the 28th, it's our last discounted open party trip of the year. We will still have some open party private charters with me later in the year, but they won't be discounted. They'll be at full price. So if you want to do a discounted trip, this is probably the last one for the year. Tommy says, my dad used to say that time spent fishing is time God does not deduct from your life. That's probably true. What was the other question? Andrew wants to know any Catalina reports. Yeah, there was a boat over there earlier in the week that had white sea bass and halibut. I did hear rumors of some boats catching yellowtail with live squid. I haven't seen any yellowtail pictures, but I was told that. But I did see white sea bass pictures and I did see plenty of halibut pictures. So hopefully that's going to turn into a bite here really soon next month. What we need to happen is like the end of next week sounds good. I think I saw next, not this weekend, but next weekend, the weather's going to get up to 80 degrees. And that's what we need. We need the water to settle down. We need the water to warm up a little bit. We need all these storms to start backing off. And once that happens and the water warms up a little bit, hopefully that'll lead to barracuda, yellowtail, stuff like that. So Sal wants to know any tackle shops I recommend out in the valley. Bob Sands is a great one. A really good one too, much smaller store is Johnny's in Pasadena. So I would recommend both those stores. So I would go see that. Hey, we have somebody on here from Houston. Hello, Jose. Hey, Carol, how you doing? Thanks for joining. Carol's first time. Hello, Steve. Jose, yes, I will be in Alaska June 8th through the 12th. There's a couple of spots left there if you want to join me. Come with me. I'll put the link up there. But we do have more room available for Mexico. Mexico, we have about 20 spots open. And Alaska, we only have a few spots open. But if you want to join us in Alaska, we do have room. Yeah, so we'll be in Alaska June 8th through the 12th. 907's in 8th grade. I wonder if I have your video here. That was so neat being there when you caught your very first Dorado, your very first ocean trip, and you caught a Dorado. That was an amazing, amazing day. Do I have that here? Maybe it's not here anymore. Yeah, I don't see it. Sal says, thank you very much. Trying to learn. Yeah, this is a good place to learn. My YouTube channel is a great place to learn. Make sure you subscribe here on my YouTube. We have over 2,000 videos there. And then if you want the more personal service, sign up and come on a private charter with me. And like I said, we have a discounted one for April 28th, Sunday. You can come out with me and do that. Jose wants to know, or Joseph wants to know when I'll be back at Convict Lake. I'd like to get back there. I've been trying to get them to provide me with a cabin so I could do that, but haven't had any success with that yet. John is in Idaho. Hello, Idaho. Hey, Soto, how you doing? Kevin's answering the tackle box question. Hey, Art, how you doing? Yeah, last week our people were asking about the tamale question, which boat they can go on in Emeryville and get tamales with me. Now we know it's going to be the Seawolf. Seawolf will have some tamales available. I get the cheese ones. Just let you guys know. Yeah, Steven, that's too long to wait to go to Alaska if you haven't been there since the 90s. It's awesome. And we don't fish in the rivers. We fish out in the ocean. So it's really neat. Lots of salmon, big halibut. I just posted a video this morning on my YouTube channel where I land like a 50, 60 pound lingcod, monster lingcod. It was over 50 pounds. So you can see that. All right, let me find that video, make sure I have it. Because that moment when 907, his first ocean trip ever, and luckily his dad was able to come along. And the you guys paid for him to go, and he caught his very first ocean fish, happened to be a Dorado. Let me see if I have it here. Hey Renee, how you doing? Let's see. That's the only thing. I don't even know what I have it under. Trying to see if I can find it here on the hard drive. I don't see it. Don't see it. Is it raining outside yet? Anybody out there? Oh, it's raining now. I can hear it outside. It is raining good outside here. Yeah, I was trying to see if I had that video. I don't see it, 907, sorry. So it's sprinkling at Lake Lake. It's pouring here. Andrew says it's drizzling and raining in Shoreline. Andrew, is your boat over by mine in Shoreline? Steven says it rained earlier in Fresno. I forget, we have people all over the place. Daniel's in Arizona, so who knows how the weather is there. All right. Yeah, I was really hoping I had that video on here, but I don't see it. Yeah, it's supposed to rain here most of the night tonight, so we'll see. And then next week we probably won't have a show. I'll be flying back home on Thursday next week, and I don't think I'm gonna be. Well, I won't be home in time because my plane lands at 6 o'clock, 6:30, so I won't be back here in time. So next week we won't have a show. Sorry about that, guys. Just trying to see if I can find that video somewhere, but I don't see it. I'll have to dig it up for you. Okay. Jose says no rain in Houston. Alexander, no, I will not be at Day at the Docks. I will be out of the country this weekend. So Renee, you're going on a trip with Turners? That should be fun. Yeah, I was at all the other trade shows this year. I did all, the Long Beach show. I did Del Mar. I did Orange County. So that was quite a few shows. Nacho, Nacho, it snowed all night. It's plane delayed in Montreal. What were you doing in Montreal? Pod says it's not raining in San Diego yet. Andrew says he's on Dock CC. All right. I'm on S Dock, so I'm closer to the restaurants down that way. So CC would be headed south or east of the yacht club over there. We got to meet up sometime. Those of you that have boats over there, like Andrew. 45-foot Hatteras, that's a big boat. My boat is not nearly that big. My boat's only 33. Yeah, is it raining in Idaho or is it snowing? It's probably snowing up in Big Bear right now. So Alan sent me some other pictures of his kids from today's trip. They're just coming in right now. I don't even think they're on land yet. So this is Alan, I think. So Alan got these two big rockfish on B52 bucktails. And I don't know if you guys can see this, but the bucktails he's using are not the regular bucktails. These are the HD models. These are that hook that you see in the fish there. Let me try to make this bigger so you guys can see it. That's about as big as it's gonna get. Okay, so the hooks here, if you can see them right next to the eyeball, you can see the hook sticking out. That's an A-dot hook. That's a really big, big hook. And when people see that A-dot hook, they think it's way too big to use for rockfish. But you can see this bucktail, the one on the that he has that's all red. As I look at it on the right side, that's a 1 ounce B52 bucktail. On the other side is a 1 ounce B52 bucktail, but both with the HD hooks. And I tell you, when you're fishing deep like that, you want to use the HDs so that your bait looks bigger. And I normally even put like a rubber grub on that to make it bigger. So that's how it works out pretty good. Robert says it rained earlier, but the wind is blowing nasty offshore, Port Hueneme. Yeah, Andrew, your boat CC, I believe, is between the yacht club and the fuel dock. What's the question? Let Kevin do tackle shows special answer all the questions and yeah, the tackle shops are really good about answering questions. At the shows, depends on whose booth you're in. They're there to sell stuff, so they're going to sell you what they have in their booth. But shows are good to go to so you can see what what other gear's out there. And it's good to go talk to the captains too, the different captains and landings. Those guys are not selling you anything but a trip, so they'll be glad to talk to you about the gear. So John says it is raining in Idaho, Panhandle of Idaho. Brian's up north. Brian's, you're in Oregon, right? Cold, 40 degrees. So Brian, I got invited to do a trip out of Oregon for albacore this summer. Can only take 4 other people. So it'd be me, cameraman, and 4 other people. Do you think I'd have any trouble getting 4 other people to join me up there? Maybe people from San Francisco would drive up. I don't know if anybody from LA would drive all the way up. But thinking about it. When I get back from this trip, I'm going to really look into that. Because I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. Do that trip. I haven't caught an albacore in a while. It's been almost 10 years. Probably 8 years since I caught one. And the last one I caught was out at Emeryville. So we were fishing Farallon Islands. Got a phone call. The skipper got a phone call from a friend. And we went out about an hour. And we got them. So Alan's on. I guess one of the kids must be driving if he's texting, or they're not quite at shore yet. And says that the B-52s crushed it. And yes, he was using the HD models. Steven wants to know, refresh my memory, what months is good time to book with yellowtail? It depends on the season. Sometimes we get them as early as April, and other times we don't get them till July. So it's really hard to tell. Now, some of the trips that I have booked on my open party trips that we're filming for television, I have a bunch of trips booked for June, and those trips are booked targeting white sea bass mainly. So there could be yellowtail on those trips too. So we have a trip on the Sea Star May 30th, and then the Stardust June 19th. That one, that one could be really good. That one could be white sea bass, halibut, yellowtail. You never know. So there's a link there, guys, where you can see my trips for the year that we'll be filming. There are 2 more trips that I haven't made live yet. I keep forgetting to do it. A trip on the Alpatron and another trip on the Pride. And both of those trips will be in November. So, thinking about it. Brian, when are you coming up? It's probably going to be like July. He was talking around 4th of July time to be up there for albacore. I haven't booked it yet, but it sounds like we could do a weekend. So Carlos says he would join me in Oregon. That's cool. I think Brian would join me. He lives there. So then I only need 2 more people. So Andrew, when you're asking about a dropper loop rig and what size loop, what fish are you talking about? Because I'm fishing for yellowtail, I use a bigger loop. When I'm fishing for rockfish, lingcod, I use a much smaller loop. And then sometimes I don't even use a loop. They sell these swivels that slide down your main line. You crimp them on and you put a line off it. Last 5 years, I've been using those quite a bit up in Emeryville when I'm fishing for targeting lingcod. And those have been working out really good. So you don't get any twist in your line. Yeah, Daniel, I agree. Rockfish have huge, huge mouths. Okay, fish killer. How do you fish bucktails or calicos with squid? Yeah, exactly the same way, fish killer. When you're fishing a bucktail for calicos, you want to cast it out along the edge of the kelp and let it fall as slow as possible. So you want to use the smallest head that you can cast to get in the area. Sometimes I use a half ounce, sometimes I use a 1 ounce. Um, Sometimes as the water gets colder, you have to go down deep, so I use a 2 or 4 ounce. But that's why I have them. Depends on the current too. And then if they're bigger fish, you want to go the HD model with the big hook. That makes a big difference. Hey, I forgot to do this, so we should do this. Let's do the show open.
Dan Hernandez, and I live to fish. All right. I have been fishing along the Pacific coast my entire life. Oh! Let me bring you in the action and share with you some great fishing tips along the way.
I'm back. So Brian says he'll join too. So now I only need 2 more people. That's cool. Nacho wants to know the date and cost. I will look into that when I get back in the country, guys, and get you that information. I want to say it's going to be around. No, I don't want to say. I think it said it was something like 600. But that's if you need a hotel room, food and everything. They have their own lodge there. Those of you that live in Oregon don't need that, so it'd be less money. But if you want to stay there with us, I might go and fish for 2 days and stay there. So maybe we could put different people on each day. It's probably gonna be around 4th of July, is what I'm thinking. Yeah, Robert was with me that day on the new Salmon Queen. We got everybody one albacore up to like 40 pounds. And then we went back to the Farallons and everybody got a limit of rockfish and lingcod. And we were back at the dock by 5 p.m. That's what kind of crazy day it was. John says it's close enough to his birthday. Good. Brian says that's a good month for albacore. Oh, so Brian's got his brother-in-law too. That's good. All right, Angie, I'm glad that helped you. Also, right here on my YouTube channel, I have videos on dropper loop rigs. Maybe I should do some rigs for you guys on rock fishing, since rock fishing is open right now. Maybe I should do some rigs on those little swivel things that I like and how I use them. Roger says, what best hooks for rockfish? Okay, so um, that's a good question. Roger's asking about sinkers and bucktails, rock fishing. So this is what I do. If I'm targeting lingcod only and we're fishing less than 250 feet, I just use a 6 ounce B52 bucktail and I put a large single tail grub on it. Probably down to 200 feet. This is what I would use. Put a single tail grub, big double A grub, let it go down, go all the way down the bottom, swim it along the bottom a little bit, wind it up 5-10 cranks, stop it, and let it flutter back down. As it flutters back down, the fish jump all over it. And sometimes when you're winding it up to pull it up off the bottom, the lingcod come up and grab it. So that's how I like to fish for the lingcod. If I'm in water that is over 200 feet, then I take a 1 ounce B52 bucktail HD model, so I have the big hook. Then I still use the big single tail grub to put on there. So instead of my bait being this big, it's this big. And I don't put any bait on it, no squid, no nothing. Just fish it like that. And then I will use that rig I'm telling you about. You can use a dropper loop rig if you want, but I normally don't do that because sometimes the lingcod will bite through the line. So I use a swivel with the line on it, come out about 18 inches from the main line, and then I have a 1-pound sinker on the bottom. So I let it go all the way to the bottom. This is attached on the side of the main line, and just take it up and down off the bottom, and the lingcod bite it. Works great for the rockfish and the lingcod. If I'm only targeting rockfish, okay, not targeting lingcod, I'll take 2 1-ounce B52 bucktails, put them in a double dropper loop rig, space them far enough apart so if you hook a really big fish, it doesn't cover both baits, and a 1-pound sinker on the bottom, and these work out good. The reason I like the bucktails on fishing for rockfish is that if you use a straight hook and they take the bait off, nothing's going to bite a plain hook. But because of the bucktail, with that bucktail on there, pulsating action, with no bait on it, you'll still get bit. When we fished out of Emeryville in the Bay Area on the Sea Wolf and on the New Hug Fin, I don't put bait on it most of the time. I usually just fish it straight bucktail because there's so many fish up there. You don't need the bait on there, and the fish come up and hit it. It works really, really good. So Fish Killer says, caught a 32-pound white sea bass on a small rockfish dropper loop size. Caught a 40-pound yellowtail on a dropper loop. Lots of times when you use a larger dropper loop Fish Killer, it's because we're using live mackerel or something like that for bait for the yellowtail. For fishing for lingcod rockfish, there really isn't an advantage having a big loop. But when we're fishing for yellowtail, like at Cedros or somewhere in deeper water where we're using a big sinker and going down, having that big loop so the bait can swim around and look more natural is a big advantage. Steven says, would be interested in the Oregon trip. Okay. All right, you guys got me interested in doing the Oregon trip, so I'll look into that. I will look into that and give the guy a call, see what he has available, see if I can get up there. Can you guys go weekdays, or does it have to be a weekend? I guess I should ask. I don't know if Brian can get away during a weekday, but maybe you guys can let me know if weekdays work for you or not. All right, so our last Super Chat prize was a SKB tackle box, and Alan's kid won it, and they sent us a picture today of them using it on their trip on the El Dorado today. So those are Alan's kids, and there's the prize that we gave away. Was it last week? I guess it was. And that's them with the box. And you can kind of see the water looks like it was a little windy there. So I don't know if that's on the way in or the way back, but that's their brand new SKB box that they won on the Super Chat. Okay, so Nacho can do weekdays. Steven can do weekdays. Brian can do weekdays. All right, cool. That's good. All right, we have about 10 more minutes. Anybody else have any questions? What does Kevin say? My last albacore was on the Tracer in early 2000s with me and Larry. So if you guys hear the word Larry pop up from time to time, you don't know who we're talking about. Larry Yoshida was my best friend. Passed away. Was it 10 years ago? 8 years ago, Kevin? He was Larry's. Larry was Kevin's cousin. So when you hear us talk about Larry, that's what we're talking about. And Larry was like my right and left hand with the TV show for many, many years. He checked everybody in on the boats. He didn't fish that much, lots of the trips. He helped people out. He was great. And we all miss him. But that's why you hear the name Larry pop up from time to time. And he's in a lot of the videos on my YouTube channel. So, just to let you guys know. And I did different TV shows for like PBS. We did a series called Fishing the Americas. And Larry was with me in Nicaragua, El Salvador, Venezuela, Guatemala, Honduras, Mexico, Alaska, all over. It was pretty cool. Dropper loop for yellowtail, spider hitch knot. Yeah. I think the spider hitch knot we used to use a lot for tuna fishing too. Like when you're fishing with lighter lines. I remember John Grabowski would always talk about having us rig up a spider hitch knot. That way, if one of the lines broke, you would still have a way to get the fish in. So Roger says he's going out Saturday on the Island Spirit out of Ventura. Yeah, send me some pictures and I'll post them up here. Like I said, next week I won't be here, guys. I will be flying in back home, so I won't be here. But I will be back here the following week. All right. And those of you that are going to be going to Day at the Docks, have a good time. Be the first one I'm going to miss. I missed one because I got stuck in Europe at a convention. That was the year that the volcano erupted off Iceland. So I got stuck in Europe for an extra 10 days. I actually ended up in Casablanca in Morocco for 6 days. And then a couple of days in Madrid to get home. That was an experience. After being in Europe already for like 2 weeks, and then on top of that have to stay an extra 10 days. That was an expensive trip. But it was an adventure. Pretty different. So Renee says, let's plan a trip to Kolonet for rock cod. There's boats already going down there right now. They've already been going. It doesn't close down there. It's open year round. You're welcome, Stephen. Thanks for watching. Yeah, I'm trying to get my TV show in more countries around the world. So hopefully we'll get that going. So we'll be doing that. And what else we have going on? So we have the swap meet coming up. It's It's going to be April 21st, a Sunday. So if any of you have fishing tackle that you want to donate, we can use it to sell there to raise funds. We still need to raise a few $1,000 to replace the stuff that got stolen last month. So we could use that help. And then we'll be at MacArthur Park the last Saturday, in April, which I believe is April 27th. So we'll be providing the infrastructure for the event there. Hopefully we'll have 300-400 kids there, and a lot of them will be fishing for the very first time. So that's always fun. I like doing that event. I like being in downtown LA, providing opportunities for the kids. That's what I like to do. And then what else is there? If you'd like to do a super chat, but you don't want to do it here, because Google takes 30% of it, you can always do it on our website. So we have this link here, and every $5 gets you a ticket. And if you spend $10, you get 2 tickets. $5, you get 1 ticket. And we put it in our drum here, and then we'll do that. And we'll do another one in a couple weeks. I'll get some prizes out there for you guys. Oh, that's no good. That's no good. That's better. For some reason, my wide camera turned off. But this is our, hopefully that's on. Yeah, there's our close-up camera. So just a reminder that today is brought to you by Boomerang, great cutters, and our B52 bucktails. Forgot what I did with, I put the other one up there. Put this ugly one away. And you can find all this stuff on our website at sport-fishing.com. Thank you, Bob. Thanks for watching. Yeah, I have to start packing and stuff. I'll be leaving town here soon. So start packing and doing all that kind of stuff. All right, any last comments or questions before I say goodnight to everybody? Reminder, I will not be here next week. Next week will be dark. But after that, I'll be back. And if you guys catch fish on the bucktails and the B52 jigs, please send me pictures. I'd love to show them. You know, let you guys see how they work and the fish people are catching on them. Again, this was at Colonet recently, last week I think it was, and this is what I mean by making the bucktail bigger. That's a swim bait he put on there, and you can use the bucktail. Ryan did that, and that's a 6-ounce B52 bucktail, and big red. You would think that bait is too big for these rockfish to eat, but it's not. This one was at Colonet, but we get reds that big out of Santa Barbara on the Stardust. We get reds that big out of Emeryville, but that particular one there was out of San Diego down at Colonet. But yeah, there's some videos with me with some big reds that we got on the Stardust last year, and those were monsters. When they came up, I thought maybe they were cowcods. They were so big. It really surprised me how big they were. All right, yeah, Stephen. By the time we get back, hopefully I'll have the details on the Oregon trip. So I'll start looking into that. All right, guys, I'm gonna call it a night again. Next week I won't be here, but I will be back soon, and the week after that, and we can catch up, let you know how my trip goes, and then let's see about making that trip happen up in Oregon. And again, just a reminder that April 28th, we have spots available. I think 2 spots available for the open party trip on my boat to Mi Sueño. And that'll be the last trip that you can get the discount on for the discount for an open party trip. I think it's like 20% off. And here's the link for that. All right. All right. Well, I'll say goodnight. I'll be out of the country for a few days, and I'll be back next Thursday night later than we would normally be on here. All right. Good night, everybody. Be safe. And if you're going to go fishing, make sure you check the weather and all that and be safe. Alan said it was pretty rough today at San Nick, but he was on a big boat, so they were safe. But if you're on your own little boat, please be careful. Harold's heading to Homer, Alaska next week. That's pretty cool. All right. Talk to you guys all later. Good night, everybody. Be safe. Thank you.